Yes, I, brothers and sisters, lovers, haters, friends and neighbours, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls and vibrations. Hope everyone's well. Hope everyone's had a nice day. And I've had a brilliant day today. Like, I feel like there's something wrong with us today. Like, I don't know if I've been on, like, I was one of them bands when I was little. Like, if you give me E numbers, like them ice pops and that, or Smarties when they had the blue ones, like, I would go Raj. And that's what I feel like today, just like, like, I feel like a band. And I'm like, I've been a torment all day, like, in a good way. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of them days I feel great. And my new belt came from the BKFC. It's a thing of beauty. Danny, 2 belts. How many other people in the UK have got 2 belts? Nobody's talking to you, Mick Terrell. Right. Okay, let's get into it. Andragoin. I don't never know how to pronounce it. Andragoin. Fog on the Tyne. Andragoin. A cannon a line. All mine, all mine. Okay. Let's get into it. Right, calm down, Danny. I made a video yesterday saying I want to address this point, and I've got a couple of points to make. And now I made a video yesterday, and in that video I said that I love the Crusades, and I love the British Empire, right? Let me just double down on that. Let me just reiterate, right? I love the British Empire. Like, when I say I love the Crusades, I'll say it again. I love the Crusades, right? But, like, is it love? Did I tongue its hoop? Have me and the Crusades entered in an intimate relationship, right? Like, have we romanticised? Now, let's take the word love and let's replace it with a deep-seated fascination and admiration for the British Empire. How's that? Right? I was fascinated with it. I was fascinated with empires. The Ottoman Empire, the Mongolian Empire. The Roman Empire was my favourite. I think it was the most significant. Not only for what they'd done, but mainly for me it was the language. Without the Roman Empire, there would be no French language, Spanish, Portuguese, or Romanian, for that matter. Romania. Okay. Now, I digress. The British Empire. I loved reading up on that stuff, and I got more and more interested the deeper I got. I just couldn't help it. I was fascinated. I loved it. I loved reading about it. You know what I mean? I loved, and by the way, this wasn't like my Uncle Jimmy, or this isn't like Bob from the shop who done these Crusades. It wasn't like my granddad or nothing. It was a little while ago. All right, I can't remember them. It wasn't like a few weeks ago. This is history that I'm very proud of, heritage that I'm very proud of. Right now, I understand that is not politically correct. Okay, I am not politically correct. I don't want to be. I'm as much chance of me being politically correct as there is studying the history of Albania, right? It's just not going to happen. I've got no interest, right? I'm not bothered. Politics bore me. But I'm teachable. I have to make myself teachable. You see, on this journey that I'm on, I have to make myself teachable. You have to. You can't. I have to constantly remind myself that I am nobody and I know nothing, right? The more I remind myself that I am nobody and I know nothing, right? First of all, I find myself being less and less offended by what people say. Now, when I tell myself I know nothing, it makes me teachable, Socrates said that. And I'm just taking a stab in the dark, but I think Socrates was probably a little bit wiser than me and Anne. Just a guess, but it's a brilliant statement. Socrates said, I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. Okay? You have to make yourself teachable. Now, in my opinion, right, before I say anything about Anne Dragain, Fog on the Line, massive big oi K.I.S.S.I.N.G. Anyways, Excuse me. Before I say anything about Anne, right, we've never agreed on anything, but I respect Anne, right, I do. I like the way she challenges things, right? I think she challenges things in the correct manner because I believe that she's politically correct. I think she has to be, she chooses to be, right, politically correct. Now, I like the way she challenges things. And I've got to be honest, I love all this, me lovelies, oh, me lovelies. Like, I'm being honest, I love the way people express themselves. And I like the way she expresses herself like that, right? That's the truth. I love expression, okay? Okay. Now, moving on. I don't think Anne Dragine is teachable. You know, she's never wrong. You know, and she does like sort of always have to be right and always have to kind of have the last word, if you like. She doesn't seem teachable, you know, never wrong. Now, she went on to say that because I loved, you know, the British Empire, then I must love slavery. I must, because they go hand in hand. Right, okay. Like, this is what I'm talking about today's soft, sort of mollycoddled world, if you like. Like, if I say I love the British Empire, you know, if somebody wants to turn that into I love the slavery, that's fine. But it's part of the problem, because it's not what I mean and it's not what I said. You know, there was a lot of stuff happened in the expansion of the British Empire. And guess what? There was a lot of, I don't want to say the word, grape, unwanted sexual encounters, yeah? And there was a lot of murder as well. So does that mean that I like that and murder? I must love that as well, surely. And here's one for you. The Crusades was a massive offence to Christianity, right? I love Jesus, right? So because it was the Crusades were massively offending to Christianity, like, does that now also mean that I hate Jesus? Because going off what you've said, surely it would. There's no end to what you can tie in, you know, because I've said one thing, that I love the British Empire, the Crusades, like, so that must mean I love all the bad things in it, you know, and all the murder and all the horrible things in it. You know, we know it doesn't. I think you know it doesn't, Anne, but, right, but I sent you a message, Anne, 4 days ago, right, on Instagram. The first line of that message, which you can read without opening the message, read, I don't like to correct you, Anne, but, and it never got opened for 4 days. Now, I can only imagine that Anne's Instagram inbox isn't very busy. It might be. I don't think it's going to be, you know. For 4 days, she never opened it because she read that first line and she couldn't bring herself to be corrected by this lower working class, ex-convict, addict with this dark past and just and all this stuff and this narcissist. Boom. This narcissist. She couldn't bring herself to be corrected by this narcissist, right? So then she made this video, sort of, I mean, I was waiting for her to call us a racist. I may as well be, you know, all this stuff. I'm going to put the video that Anne made in my comment section because I'd like people to have a look at it. Now, and I know Anne's channel is monetized, so you can thank me later, Anne, okay? Blah, 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 blah. Now, narcissist. Let's get on to that. Now, I've been called a narcissist many times by Anne. If I could had £1 for every time Anne called me a narcissist, like, I could probably take a year off work, okay? Now, I'm not certain on the term of the definition of narcissist. I can imagine it's like when one puts oneself at the centre of everything and one makes everything about one and, you know, one talks about one in this positive light and all this stuff. Well, I can only imagine that's what it is. I don't think I'm far off. Now, I would much, much rather, in fact, scratch that. It is, without uncertainty, it is much, much healthier to talk about yourself in a positive light than to talk about others in a negative light. And that statement has clout, and it's true, right? Much, much healthier to talk about yourself in a positive light than talk about others in a negative light. Like, Anne has a lot to say about a lot of things, and that's fine. You know, like I say, I like the way she challenges things. This is YouTube. We all have our own opinions, and we're all entitled to voice those opinions. But you see, I'm entitled to voice that I love the Crusades. I'm entitled to voice that. You see, I'm not politically correct, and I'm not attempting ever to join any political movements. You know, I'm relatively uneducated in politics. I'm relatively uneducated, period. You know, I haven't got any high school education. I learned nothing. I come away from school with nothing, you know, apart from friends. You know, anything I've learned, I've learned myself. I've studied at the University of Life, okay? And anything I've learned, I've picked up along the way because I've got an interest in things like empires, you know, and there was so many things in the Roman Empire, the British Empire, that I admired, you know. Now, I know you can't say that these days, and I'm not bothered what people think of that. You know, that's my opinion, and I'm entitled to say that because that's what I think. And that's part of the problem, you see. We can't say what we think today in fear of it offending somebody else, right? Now, I'm not bothered about offending people. You know, I'll tell you why. In fact, let me go somewhere else. Anne, right? I know Anne is intelligent, you know, and I know she's educated, and I'm certain that she could educate me on many things, right? Many things. But I know that Anne has read enough and knows enough to know full well all about the internal life, the external life, enlightenment, ego, and how it's all tied in. I know that she knows about those things. And I know she knows to take offence to something, ego must be present, right? That's a fact. Because if there was no ego, there would be no offence taken, right? It really is that simple. And I know Anne knows that. You know, and I know all about ego. I battle with my ego every day. You know, sometimes I feel like it's gone. Other times I feel like it's right up here. You know, it's a battle. You know, and like I say, when I remember that I'm nobody, you know, and I tell myself that I'm just nobody, then I take less offence to things, you know, like, and yes, I speak about myself in a positive light, and I'm happier and wealthier and healthier than I've ever been, right? And I like to speak about those things because it reassures myself. You know, speaking about oneself in a positive light is very healthy, by the way. You know, but speaking about others in a negative light isn't so healthy at all. And, you know, and Anne said that, you know, whatever respect she had for me might be down the toilet. It's down the Swanee. You know, we're finished. Me lovelies. We're finished, right? Okay. That's all right. That's cool too. You know, that's cool too. I mean, personally and honestly, I really think Anne Dragoyner's got the hots for me, right? That's what I think. She mentions me. She said that I think everybody hangs on my every word. There is nobody in this corner of YouTube that hangs on my every word more than Anne Dragoyne, fat line. She doesn't miss a syllable, okay? She never has. Now, I don't know if I've got anything else to say, like, not gonna go there, but yeah, that's you know, about everything I wanted to say. You know, it's like I say, for me, it's a massive part of the problem, this people taking offence. You know, you can't say what we want to say. We have to be politically correct these days to say what we say without wanting to take offence. Well, I don't want to be politically correct. I want to express how I actually feel, and I want to say what I want to actually say. You know, I don't want to beat around the bush in case I might hurt someone's feelings. If your feelings get hurt by what someone else says, then it's probably best that you go off to the next life immediately. Because you are in for a cataclysmic world of hurt, natural disaster. You know, that's what you're in for, because being offended it's a part of natural life. You know, and if you think you're going to go through life without being offended, or you are going to take offence when you hear something that you don't like, chill out, man. You know, you need to lower your ego. The less ego you've got, the less offence you'll take, right? The more you tell yourself that you're nobody, the less offence you'll take. The more you tell yourself that you know nothing, the more teachable you are, right? Now, Andragoin is unteachable, in my opinion. Now, there was a time when I was on a live with Anne, and I can't remember when, but it's there somewhere. Anne challenged me on scripture, you know, and I'm new with scripture. I do read a lot of scripture, but I'm right at the very start of my journey, and I love Jesus. But Anne challenged me on scripture, and she also told me, and I quote, that she would educate me on the Bible and free me of my ignorance. Exactly what she said. Now, the first time I heard Anne say this, challenged me on this, and then there was a time later, and I heard her say something, not something like, I heard her say exactly that money is the root of all evil. Now, I never challenged it, because, of course, even the great Andragoin can make a mistake. So I've never challenged it. I thought, I'll just let it off with that one. Could have been a slip of the tongue, could have been a mistake. Then I heard her say it again. Money is the root of all evil, right? Andragoin. Stand corrected. Money is not the root of all evil. Money has never been the root of all evil, nor will it ever be. An object cannot be evil, right? It's man's love for money. Man's love for money. The love of money is the root of all evil. That's Timothy 6:10, okay? Consider yourself educated, Anne, all right? Because you were wrong. You know, you were wrong. You were flat out wrong. You were wrong. You know, I've been wrong so many times in my life. I've been wrong so many times today. So see, when I get something right, it's like fucking unreal, right? Unreal, okay? Fuck, 17 minutes. Right, victory dance, because I'm a winner, right? Why not? Victory dance. Oi, 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 get some of that in you, Andragoin.